may see the title of this video and expect me to give a massive praise to this movie, but nah. This movie has its problems, but with the title I wanted to emphasize what I think this movie is at its core. The real reason why this movie feels as good as it is. This video is going to be in the style of a review, but at the same time, I'm going to go into detail about why I love the things that I love, instead of just listing them. So it's a combination of a review and a video essay into one. Also, spoilers as if it wasn't obvious already. With the amount of things that this movie does that makes me happy, I'd be here all day long. But there are two key things that this movie does that I think really sell it. And those are the two things that we're going to be talking about. And those things are the relationship between Peter and MJ, and the villain, Mysterio. So let's talk about the first one, the relationship between MJ and Peter. When I first saw the movie and people asked me, "Hey Lewis, how was Far From Home?" I'd simply reply with, if I was going to describe this movie in any way, it's a teen romance movie featuring Spider-Man. I feel like this is a key trope that every Spider-Man movie should have. And I also feel like a lot of other people have that same mentality. This movie and Peter's intentions are solely based around MJ in this movie, and I love that. Every Spider-Man story should be different, but I feel what makes a solid, heartwarming Spider-Man movie is definitely the romance story. For the entire movie, you are willing MJ and Peter to get together. And yeah, we kind of have that cliche hot guy that defo has a better chance with the girl, but it feels right at home in Spider-Man. Peter Parker has always been the underdog in any situation, yet he still gets the girl. For me personally, I was that invested in Peter's character up to the bridge scene that I also felt that lingering heartache when MJ said that the only reason she noticed him was because he was Spider-Man. And as an audience member, I was crushed along with Peter. That meant that come the end of the movie, it meant that their get together was all the more satisfying as an audience. I honestly love the romance in this movie, and yes, it was different to what we saw in the Raimi trilogy and the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and yes, it's very much toned down compared to them, but I feel like it's what makes it so special in its own right. It's a teen high school romance movie. Plus, not to mention the chemistry between Tom Holland and Zendaya in this movie. The connection that they emulate on screen is absolutely fantastic, which sort of reminded me of how good the chemistry was between Stone and Garfield back in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And that chemistry in this movie makes it work all the more. And this is why I love the romance in Spider-Man Far From Home. Let's move on to my next point, which is Mysterio. Mysterio is special in this movie for one main reason. He fits the narrative so well. A lot of villains in movies are only there to objectively stop the protagonist from getting the end goal. Yet Mysterio is a mix of that, and I don't really know. Mysterio doesn't want to stop Peter getting his goal, which arguably in this movie is to get together with MJ. Mysterio actively gives advice to help Peter get towards that goal. What Mysterio does in this movie is special. He fills that mentor role that Peter was missing after Avengers Endgame after Tony Stark had died, but then rips that away from Peter when he reveals his true intentions. One of the movie's big story arcs is Peter stepping out the shadow of Iron Man by becoming the new Iron Man, except he's Spider-Man. Mysterio further proves that Peter doesn't need a mentor in his life to be a great superhero. Like Happy said, "You're on your own." Quentin Beck can be seen as Peter's internal need for a mentor role after losing Uncle Ben then Tony Stark, but him turning against him and then Mysterio's eventual defeat proves to Peter that he can be his own character and that he doesn't need a mentor figure going forward. He's ready to become the world's greatest superhero, Spider-Man. These two things do elevate this movie, and of course the acting, special effects and much more are absolutely stunning in this movie as well. Another great performance by Tom Holland and supporting cast also. Honestly, first going into this movie, I was skeptical of Mysterio. I didn't know how they were going to handle him. I think he was handled okay. One thing that I kind of didn't like about him was his reveal to be tricking Peter and Fury all along. I don't know, it just felt sudden and robbed a bit of the story for me. But they redeemed it later on in the movie. Apart from that, I didn't have any further problem with the movie besides nitpicks, which, I mean, they can be overlooked. This is what I'd call a Spider-Man movie. Although I would say Into the Spider-Verse is better and Spider-Man 2 still takes my top spot, this movie is a solid third place. Considering this movie has to continue an overarching narrative and effectively lives in Endgame's shadow, this is a pretty damn good movie. And obviously we can't go a Marvel movie without talking about the post-credit scenes. The mid-credit scene for this movie is my favourite mid-credit scene to date. It's just so quirky and funny, yet sets up for a massive story come Marvel's Spider-Man 3. And the post-credit scene with Fury and Hill turning into Skrulls really sets us up and hints heavily towards what we're going to be seeing in the next 10 years of Marvel. And if you're a Marvel comic fan, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. In conclusion, Spider-Man Far From Home is a great continuation of the grand Marvel Cinematic Universe and serves as a great Spider-Man story as well. Definitely a good watch. I'd give this movie an 8 out of 10. Very good. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you are new, and because of the new YouTube algorithm, which is pretty much screwing all YouTubers over, make sure to hit that bell notification button next to the subscribe button to not miss any of my videos when they go up. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching once again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Also, before I end the video, just a quick shout out to my mate Dylan, who, would you know, is actually back on YouTube again. You can check his channel out. I'll leave a link in the description. He's going to be doing similar sort of videos to, I don't know, like review YouTubers. So he's going to be reviewing movies, yeah, and stuff like that. So if you like review movies type stuff, then he's doing that. So links in the description. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Once again, subscribe, because I've had a look at my analytics, and 93% of you who watch these videos aren't actually subscribed. So if you want to see more stuff like this, I mean, I'm guessing that's the reason you clicked on this video, then make sure to subscribe. I mean, I'm going to be uploading like twice a week, maybe more coming to summer. So, I mean, yeah, see you guys later. Peace.